Gemini, hi. Weekly reading for next week commencing 25th of September. I don't know about you, Gemini, but I feel like the tide has turned. I'm reading on the 22nd, and the equinox has just passed, and something tells me the tide has turned. Not necessarily specifically in relation to you, but in some kind of general way. Anyway, I'm doing a 3-card reading for next week, 25th September onwards, major arcana, and I'm reading towards me. So let's go. Death in the reverse. Card 2, the Lovers in the upright. Card 3, the Hermit in the upright. Rightio. Okay, well, we've got lack of transformation here, we've got choice here, and we've got some kind of austere withdrawal here. Oh my God, I've just had a sip of wine and my mind's gone blank, Gemini. Now, there are 2 ways of reading this 3-card spread on a weekly read. And because it's a weekly read, there is the aspect where you can go beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of the week. There's also the way of reading this that says that this card represents that which you see, that the world as it appears, reality as it appears to you, and that this card represents reality as it actually is, and that this card in the middle is what's preventing you. It's the veil. It's preventing you from seeing this. And in the context of that way of doing a 3-carder, and frankly, I tend towards the second rather than a chronological thing. And in that respect, this is really interesting that this be in this kind of pivotal position. Because if this card isn't here, then you just got, oh, I thought it was, but it is. This card is the reason why you thought it was, but it turns out that it is. This card is the reason. And, you know, we have a shift of paradigm here. That it seems perhaps like you have a choice over the matter because you're aware of the shift or the potential for the shift of paradigm. Just as the young man here is aware that he's at a point now where he's choosing between his mother and this young lady here. So he's choosing now what he's going to be, whether he's going to continue to be a son, and he's clearly got some pull there, and the mother figure here is holding on to him, whether he's going to continue being a son or become a husband. So yeah, you think, okay, well, which one do I want? But we have Cupid here, who is going to basically, in the end, take it out of his hands. That arrow is going to fly, it's going to hit him, and he's not going home with his mother. He's going off into the future, as he rightly should. I mean, he's grown ass. So there's an interesting combination here of choice and no choice. But the thing that's the no choice bit, it's like the choice bit is your head. The no choice bit is not necessarily your heart, but it's nature. It's natural. It's natural. You know, the pull that he feels towards the young lady is natural. So, okay, if that's in the middle, I mean, it strikes me that this card in the first position, death reverse, so no change, no transformation, and that might be not a bad result depending on whatever is going on. Because I mean, when death comes to like cut down the grain and like pull in the harvest, he's coming and he's coming and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. There's an inevitability to it. And I guess it's that utter, uncompromising inevitability of it, that means that we are in a way blessed and in a way cursed with never quite knowing when it's coming. But anyway, here it's not coming. So the energy of this is not hugely different, because I mean, the hermit, you know, he's not known for kind of scooting about and rushing around in a kind of flappy sort of a way. You know, he does what he only does what he has to do. There's nothing extraneous about him, nothing beyond requirements about him. Let's have a look at him. No, that's it. He's got his staff and he's got his light, and that's it. So, you know, it's all very, very basic, and it's quiet, and there's nothing rushy about either of these things. And then here in the middle, we have this thing going on that you kind of, your head's telling you that it's down to you which way it goes or which way you want it to go. But there's an inevitability about this this choice, which makes it, in a sense, not really a choice. So I think this really, Gemini, is about a reframing for you, because I think perhaps you're feeling not necessarily stuck, like there's something holding you down. It's just like there's no entry into something new. Perhaps things just feel samey. No particular reason why, no particular factor in play here. It's just not happening. And you know, because this is a not happening that isn't like beautifully stable, like the sun or the world, more so the world. Because this is death in the reverse, because this is not being possibly unwillingly cut down by the scythe. That's perhaps in your mind, that's sort of as good as it gets at the moment. It's just like nothing's happening, but at least I'm not. No. That's where am I going with that? Yeah, I think things are quiet, and I think that's hacking you off a little bit. But I think with a shift of perspective, this could be a time of real growth. And I actually feel, in the context of that, I do actually feel there is growth going on beyond where you can see it and detect it and feel it. I really do. And I think there is a choice coming. There is a choice coming, but it's going to be a choice as to how you see things. This is what I'm getting here. And I get the feeling like there have been sort of invisible, quiet sort of fruits growing. Seeds have been sprouting under the soil where you can't see them. And you think that nothing's growing, nothing's changing, nothing's moving forward, nothing's blooming. But this Cupid thing here, this is a force that just does what it does, and it does the same thing to all of us, regardless of what we bloody think, and often regardless of what we want. And there is growth happening, and I think by the end of the week, I think you're going to be feeling basically happier about the fact that there's not a lot going on in your life. You're going to be feeling happier about that. And that in itself is a blooming. It's a subtle shift of of perspective. But it's a powerful one because, as I say, you know, this arrow, once it's in, that's it. That's it. There's no, I mean, you can't help who you love, can you? You just can't help it. I mean, yeah, you can't help how you feel, but you can help what you do about it. I'm going to ask for some clarification because this is quite complex. And I really want to know more, but it's already complex, and I'm worried about making it even more complex in this short reading. I'm going to get some on this, because this doesn't look like a good result. This looks like shutting yourself away, but the fruits of solitary contemplation are many. Okay, we have the Tower reversed, so similar in nature to Death reversed. The difference here between Death and the Tower is that there's an inevitability about this. This is not inevitable, but sometimes this shit just fucking happens. So again, this is about things not changing. I'm just going to check how much time we got. This is becoming quite complex here. We've got a little bit of time there. Try and keep these under 15 minutes. But as I say, that this, like, oh, there wasn't a total fucking annihilatory disaster after all. Coming as a backup, as a clarification for this. I wonder if by the end of the week, something that you were perhaps wishing was going to happen and feeling frustrated that it wasn't happening at the beginning of the week, perhaps by the end of the week, you're actually going to be quite pleased that it didn't. And the whole unfolding of this will have given you pause for thought. But I still, no, I still want to know about this. Aha. Right, the sun in the upright. Okay, yeah, I'll stick with what I've said, but I think something really benevolent and something beautiful that's outside of you, some extent, a person or a kind of conglomeration, a meeting of the ways of various karmic paths, a conglomeration of various causes and conditions that are not just to do with you. This is not about your choice. In fact, I don't even think there's a choice, any kind of meaningful, shall I do this, shall I do that, shall I go out with them, shall I go out with them, shall I say yes to this, shall I say no. This is not, it's not that kind of a choice. In fact, as I said, I don't think there is choice. I think something beautiful from outside of you is going to make clear to you by the end of the week that was ever pissing you off at the beginning of the week. By the end of the week, you're going to be going home and shutting the door, right? By the end of the week, shutting the door and going, like that, seriously. I don't know what it is. But yeah, like I said, at the beginning of the week, it's something that perhaps you would really quite like to happen. And by the end of the week, you're going to be really fucking pleased that it didn't. But what makes the difference between the beginning and the end is something out of your hands, and it's something really good and really lovely. And perhaps someone's going to give you the heads up on something next week, Gemini. Anyway, let me know in the comments section how that goes. Please like, please share, please subscribe. For private readings, the email address is in the description box below, and please come back in due course for another reading. All best, Gemini. Bye-bye.